Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Who is truly in charge of your financial decisions? You believe it is you, the rational, thinking person who reads books and makes plans. But is it? Or have you ever felt as if some unseen force takes over in the critical moments, causing you to panic sell in a crash, to impulsively buy something you can't afford, or to chase a risky investment against your better judgment? You are not imagining it. There are strings attached to you, and a puppeteer is controlling your every move. That puppeteer is not some external conspiracy. It is not the market. It is not the government. It is not the bankers. The puppeteer is inside you. It is the collection of your own untamed, unexamined, and undisciplined emotions. And this brings us to the core, uncomfortable truth of this entire video. You will never, ever master your wealth until you have begun the difficult work of mastering your emotions. Financial control is a complete and utter illusion if you do not have emotional control. Your financial failures are, at their root, emotional failures. This is not a new problem. 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers recognized that the greatest battles a person ever fights are not on the fields of war, but in the arena of their own mind, against the powerful forces of their own passions. But they did not just diagnose the problem, they created the cure. Stoicism is not an abstract philosophy. It is a practical, battle-tested toolkit of mental exercises and meditations designed specifically to dismantle destructive emotions and replace them with a powerful, guiding rationality and a profound sense of calm. This journey we are about to take requires courage. It is far easier to blame the market for our losses than to confront the fear in our own hearts. It is easier to blame society for our debts than to confront the envy and desire that drive our spending. If you are ready to stop being a puppet and start becoming the master of your own mind, then I invite you to subscribe and join our community. Your action supports our mission to empower people from the inside out, forging a new generation of emotionally sovereign individuals. Today, we will act as diagnosticians. We will place 4 of the most powerful and destructive financial emotions under the microscope. We will examine fear, greed, envy, and even the surprisingly treacherous emotion of false hope. For each of these puppeteers, we will trace the strings to the disastrous financial decisions they cause. And for each, we will prescribe a specific, powerful Stoic meditation as the scalpel you can use to cut the strings and finally take back control of your financial destiny. Let us begin with the most primal and powerful of the puppeteers, fear. Fear in the financial world wears many masks. It is the fear of losing everything in a market crash, a cold dread that grips you in the middle of the night. It is the fear of missing out, the frantic anxiety that others are getting rich without you. It is the fear of not having enough for the future, a constant humming background noise in your life. It is even the fear of looking poor, of failing to keep up with your peers. This multifaceted fear is the architect of our most catastrophic financial mistakes. The fear of loss drives you to sell your sound investments at the bottom of a correction, turning a temporary dip into a permanent loss. The fear of missing out drives you to buy into speculative bubbles long after the smart money has left. The fear of not having enough can be so paralyzing that it prevents you from investing at all, condemning your savings to a slow death by inflation. Fear whispers that it is trying to protect you, but it is actually the primary author of your ruin. The Stoic diagnosis of fear is profound. Fear, they taught, is a product of a mind that has gone astray. It is a story we tell ourselves about a future that has not happened and may never happen. As Seneca the Younger so wisely wrote, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our fear does not come from the event itself, the market crash, but from our catastrophic judgment about the event. It comes from placing our sense of well-being and security in things that are ultimately outside of our control. We give external things, like the numbers in our brokerage account, the power to grant us peace or inflict terror upon us. The Stoic realizes this is a form of voluntary madness. We have chained our inner tranquility to the wild, unpredictable movements of the outside world. To be fearful is to be a slave to the future, to be a prisoner of your own imagination. The path to freedom, therefore, is not to change the world to make it less scary, but to retrain the mind so that it ceases to produce fear. The specific Stoic meditation to cure fear is premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of adversity. This is the practice of voluntarily, in a calm and controlled environment, imagining the very things you fear. Take some time to sit quietly and vividly walk through a worst-case scenario. Imagine the market crashes by 50%. Imagine you lose your job. Do not run from the feeling. Immerse yourself in it. See the details. What would you do step by step to handle it? This practice acts like a vaccine. By exposing yourself to a small, controlled dose of the feared outcome in your mind, you inoculate yourself against the overwhelming panic of the real event. You discover that even in your worst-case scenario, you can survive. You have options. You can cut expenses, rely on your emergency fund, find new work. The monster you were so afraid of is revealed to be manageable. You transform terror into a practical, actionable plan. Fear is replaced by preparedness. Now let us turn to the second puppeteer, the hot, manic emotion of greed. Greed is the voice that whispers, "It's not enough." It is the insatiable hunger for more, for faster, for bigger. In the financial world, greed manifests as the chase for speculative fortunes, the abandonment of a sound strategy in favor of a risky bet that promises a shortcut to immense wealth. It is the force that pulls people into cryptocurrency scams, penny stock bubbles, and highly leveraged trades they do not understand. Greed is a close cousin to fear. It is often driven by the fear of being left behind, the fear of not getting your fair share of the easy money everyone else seems to be making. Greed promises you the world, but it delivers only anxiety and, in most cases, catastrophic losses. It is a fever that burns away reason, patience, and prudence. A mind in the grip of greed cannot make a wise long-term decision because its entire focus is on the tantalizing possibility of an immediate, spectacular win. The Stoic diagnosis of greed is that it is a disease of desire. It is the result of a fundamental misunderstanding of what constitutes wealth. The Stoics taught that true wealth is not having much, but wanting little. The greedy person, no matter how much they accumulate, is eternally poor, because their desires will always expand to exceed their possessions. They are trapped on a hedonistic treadmill, running desperately towards a horizon of satisfaction that they can never, ever reach. They have placed their happiness in the accumulation of preferred indifference, things like money, status, and possessions. The Stoics called these things indifferent because they have no power to make you a good or a bad person, happy or unhappy. Greed is the folly of treating these indifferent things as the ultimate good, and in doing so, sacrificing the only thing that truly is good, your own inner peace and virtuous character. It is a terrible bargain, trading your tranquility for turmoil. Before we discuss the cure, let us perform a small diagnosis on ourselves. Which of these two powerful emotions, fear or greed, has had a bigger, more destructive impact on your financial life? Has your journey been defined more by panicked selling and missed opportunities, or by reckless chasing and speculative losses? Be honest with yourself. Acknowledging our primary emotional enemy is a crucial first step. Share your answer in the comments, and let us see that we are not alone in these struggles. The Stoic meditation to cool the fever of greed is the contemplation of impermanence. Take time to reflect on the great fortunes of history. Think of the wealthy merchants, the powerful kings, the celebrated speculators of the past. Where is their wealth now? It is scattered, lost, inherited by those who did not earn it, or it has simply vanished into the sands of time. All fortunes, without exception, are fleeting. All bubbles burst, all manias end. Vividly picture your own speculative gains, should you achieve them, and imagine them disappearing. Imagine the shiny new things you would buy and see them aging, breaking, and turning to dust. This is not a pessimistic exercise, it is a realistic one. It cultivates a healthy detachment from the seductive allure of rapid wealth. It reminds you to focus on building something sustainable, something rooted in real value and prudence, rather than chasing a phantom. This meditation replaces the heat of greed with the cool, clear-eyed perspective of wisdom. Let us now examine the third puppeteer, a subtle poison that operates in the shadows: envy. In the past, envy was limited to our immediate neighbors. But today, thanks to the curated reality of social media, we are exposed to the highlight reels of billions of people. We see their luxurious vacations, their new cars, their perfect homes. This has supercharged envy into a global epidemic, a constant feeling of inadequacy and a burning desire to have what others have. Envy is the engine of modern consumerism. It is the force that drives lifestyle inflation, making you increase your spending with every pay raise, ensuring you never get ahead. It pushes you into debt to purchase status symbols, to project an image of success that does not match your financial reality. Envy makes you abandon your own unique financial journey to desperately try to keep up in a race you did not choose, against competitors who are likely faking their success. You are playing their game, and you are destined to lose. The Stoic diagnosis of envy is that it is a failure of attention. It is the act of turning your focus away from the one thing that matters, your own inner life, and fixating on the external circumstances of others. It is a voluntary surrender of your own peace of mind, placing the keys to your contentment in the pocket of a stranger on the internet. As long as someone has more than you, envy guarantees that you will be unhappy. It is a self-imposed sentence of perpetual dissatisfaction. The Stoics teach that the only valid comparison is with yourself yesterday. Are you wiser? Are you more disciplined? Are you a better person? These are the only metrics that matter. To envy another person's possessions is to fundamentally misunderstand the nature of the good life. You do not know the price they paid for their wealth, nor do you know the state of their soul. They may have a beautiful house, but an inner world filled with anxiety and turmoil. You are envying the mask, not the person. The Stoic meditation to dissolve envy is the practice of focusing on your own path and building your inner citadel. This is an exercise of turning your attention powerfully inward. Take out a journal and write in great detail about your own values. What is truly important to you? What is your personal definition of a successful and meaningful life? Design your own game with your own rules and your own victory conditions. Make it so compelling that the games others are playing become utterly irrelevant. Simultaneously, you must work on building your inner citadel, a concept from Marcus Aurelius. This is a fortress of inner strength, built from your principles, your self-respect, and your gratitude for your own journey. When your inner world is rich, satisfying, and well fortified, the external displays of others lose their power to affect you. You do not need what they have because you are deeply content with what you are. Envy cannot penetrate the walls of a well-built citadel. Your focus is on your own path, and you walk it with joy. Finally, let us examine a surprising puppeteer, one that disguises itself as a friend: false hope. This is not the rational confidence that comes from a sound plan. This is the disempowering hope of the lottery player, the gambler, the speculator waiting for one miracle stock to solve all their problems. It is the hope for a reward without effort, for a harvest without planting. It is a passive, wishful thinking that waits for salvation to come from the outside. This false hope is dangerous because it prevents you from taking the necessary actions to secure your own future. Why would you undertake the hard, slow work of disciplined saving and investing if you are holding out hope for a sudden, miraculous windfall? False hope is the enemy of personal responsibility. It encourages you to surrender your agency to the whims of chance, to wait for luck instead of building your own certainty through virtuous action. It is a state of financial daydreaming. The Stoics were neither optimists nor pessimists. They were realists. They did not indulge in wishful thinking. Their confidence did not come from a blind hope that things would work out, but from a deep-seated belief in their own ability to handle whatever happened. They practiced a proactive, empowered form of confidence, not a passive, waiting form of hope. They knew that the universe is indifferent to our wishes, but it is highly responsive to our disciplined actions. The Stoic meditation to cure false hope and replace it with rational confidence is the ultimate Stoic principle, the dichotomy of control. This is the practice of constantly and ruthlessly filtering your thoughts and energy through a simple question. Is this within my control or outside of my control? The lottery jackpot, the spin of the roulette wheel, the next meme stock to go to the moon, these are all radically outside of your control. To place your hope in them is to build your house on shifting sand. Instead, the Stoic focuses their entire energy on the domain of their control, their savings rate, their spending, their investment strategy, their continuous learning, their emotional responses. This meditation shifts your entire mindset from a passive state of "I hope" to an active state of "I will." It is the most empowering shift a person can make. You stop waiting for the future to happen to you, and you start actively building the future you desire, one disciplined, controllable action at a time. As you can see, each of these destructive emotions, fear, greed, envy, and false hope, is a string that manipulates you, pulling you away from your rational, long-term goals. They are the source of the chaos, the reason the tower of your financial life keeps collapsing, but they are just emotions. They are not you. They are mental habits that can be observed, understood, and systematically dismantled through conscious daily practice. Mastering your emotions is the art of cutting the strings. The person who has done this work is a different kind of human being. They operate from a place of quiet strength and clarity. They observe the emotional manias of the market with a calm detachment. They make decisions based on their own well-reasoned principles, not on the passions of the crowd or the turmoil in their own gut. They have achieved emotional sovereignty, and as a direct result, they achieve financial sovereignty. Their wealth is built not on luck, but on the unshakable foundation of their own character. This is the ultimate truth of the journey we have taken today. The great battle for financial freedom is not fought in the stock market or in the bank. It is fought and won in the quiet 6-inch arena between your ears. Mastering your emotions is not a soft skill. It is the single most important and practical financial skill you can ever develop. It is the one thing that will determine your success more than any other factor. You are the asset or you are the liability. Thank you for having the courage to face these powerful forces with us. This is not easy work, but it is the most rewarding work you will ever do. To continue your training in the art of self-mastery, please subscribe to our channel and like this video for daily meditations and lessons. Remember, every moment of every day you are presented with a choice. Your emotions can be your tyrannical masters, or they can be your disciplined tools. The power to decide has always been yours.